Let's take a closer look at the Baffin jacket now. The Baffin is one of our Ventile and Down outerwear jackets, and the Baffin, along with the Asgard, they're right at the top of the tree really for warmth. The temperature rating on this jacket is minus 30 degrees C, so it's a Ventile and Down jacket, and it's really for the coldest places, really for extreme cold and the coldest cities. Very warm piece of kit and made in this beautiful cotton Ventile. I'll go through the details. First of all, I'll look at the Ventile for you. We've been making Ventile gear for decades now, and we've been making Ventile gear for polar explorers, polar expeditions, and for people that don't want the modern day nylons, the mountaineers nylons and velcros and laminates and so on. They don't want that type of fabric. They want breathable cotton fabrics, and this is why Ventile it was picked up actually originally by mountaineers in the 50s. It had been used, Ventile had been used in the Second World War very successfully, and of course it was picked up by mountaineers and by polar explorers because of its breathability and its robustness and its windproofing. Of course, it's extremely windproof and very, very weatherproof. And so all these years later, in fact, we've been using Ventile and with our down gear for a long time now, and for some people it really is the choice. Now, let's have a look more at the Baffin jacket itself. It's an expedition length jacket, of course. It's right down onto the hips, it covers the hips, and it's low down on the backside. And that is really to seal out the cold, make you much, much warmer. The bottom of the hem, the bottom of the jacket has a drawcord hem, so it can be sealed down to really keep out the cold. I'll just jump to the collar now, because that's the same. Sealing out the cold is one of the tricks with this equipment. The collar is down-filled and fleece-lined, and it's high, so that can be closed down to stop the cold getting in. And then the same with the cuffs. They've got tabs with studs on to seal down the cuffs there. So sealing out the cold is key. It's got a full-length zip, and over the zip we've got a double baffle. So insulated baffles, 2 of them. So that prevents the weather getting in, because zips aren't windproof, of course. So you really need to create that double baffle to keep the cold out. We've got hand warmer pockets down at the waist, and these are fleece lined. Superb piece of kit, and they're designed specifically for cold hands. If your hands have gone cold, it can be excruciating, you're in trouble. And these pockets are fleece lined hand warmer pockets, so you shove them in and immediately start to get warmth. So those are covered with the studs there, and then we do have 2 pockets on the chest as well. These are zipped, and they're large capacity stash pockets. They're big enough for a map, certainly big enough for mitts, big mitts, big gloves, heavy gloves, and of course very, very handy for things like a smartphone and so on. Always accessible, aren't they, on a chest? If there are pockets on the chest, it's very quick and easy to get to. Just going to the hood. The hood is detachable. It's a stud-on hood, so it can be removed if you don't want it. And if you do want to remove it, you can take it away, leave it at home, of course. But hoods are, they make a huge difference. If you're hanging about, if for instance you were a photographer in bad weather, you really need a lot of protection. You may be in a period of quite low physical activity, and you really suffer for your art. So a down-filled hood, it's made in Ventile, of course, filled with down, and it can be cinched down with cord locks and so on to really get it close around your head, but makes a massive difference. One of the clients that we made a jacket for years ago was a guy who was doing a vintage car rally, and he had a car, beautiful old car, it was a soft top, it was an open car, no roof on it, and he was doing a week-long drive in the UK in the winter, and he wanted a down jacket, and he was a classic example. He didn't want to look like a mountaineer in modern day nylons and Velcro and things. He wanted a piece that was beautiful and warm, but also looked great while he was driving his vintage car. And it was one of a typical example of our sort of client for these sorts of jackets. You wouldn't use this, you wouldn't take this high on a mountain. If you were serious about high altitude mountaineering, you'd take something like our Hisbar jacket. It's a quarter of the weight and it packs down tiny. But this jacket is much more for people, for the sort of person that really wants a classic design, beautiful fabrics, downfill. They want the quality and they want the knowledge and the down that we're using in the mountaineering, but they want the qualities and so on of a beautiful cotton fabric. And so the Baffin, the Asgard is similar, both rated at -30 degrees C. Okay, cheers.